Brandon Weekings are very proud to select in the 2022 draft, first round, 12th overall, from Wilcox, Saskatchewan, and the Notre Dame U15 prep team, Jobe Ballmiller.
Well, happy Friday, Wheat King fans. Welcome inside the Molson Coors studio. My name is Chris Follico, Director of Game Day Operations and Community Relations with the Brandon Wheat Kings. Joined here with Director of Player Personnel, Chris Moulton. Chris, after yesterday, kind of like the big championship day for the scouting staff, as it was the draft. Overall, feelings now after how it went?
We're happy as hell. You know, it's you work so hard all year, and you watch these kids grow, and you know you're traveling all over the place, and for us to come and finally nail down who the future Wheat Kings are going to be is so cool. You know, it's just one of those things. It's our icing on our cake from a hard year of work, and so after yesterday's draft, we can breathe and smile and enjoy what we did.
One of those players that you had a lot higher on the list than 12 was the first round pick, Jobe Ballmiller. Tell us about Jobe.
We've coveted him since day one. We, as a group, you know, it's a funny thing where scouts get together and there's always mixed opinions. So some guys really like guys, some guys like him. It's mixed. Jobe's one of those guys that every guy that went in to see him, whether he was playing U18 or U15, everybody loved this kid. And I even spoke to Dad and I said, "Hey, Dad, hey Bob, I'm doing my due diligence. I don't think he's going to be there at 12, but stranger things have happened, so I'm giving you a call." He plays the game the right way. He shoots the puck a ton, so we're excited to have him.
Second round, you go local, and you get Easton Oden, who is a part of that championship-winning Brandon Wheat King Bantam team. There was a lot of talent on that team. What about Easton made him stand out?
Character and tenacity. Odie brings it every day. He goes hard. He's not the biggest guy, and obviously as a young guy, he'll grow, but if there's a puck in the corner, he comes out with it. And he sounds like a great kid. He brings skill. He can skate. Another guy that when other teams come into our arena, they're going to have to compete to win battles, and just because he plays so hard.
The Wheat Kings have found a success in the past in Saskatoon. In the third round, we go back there, and you select Emerson Clark. What about Emerson's game stood out for the staff?
The biggest thing for me is his skating. He's a great skater with great mobility. He has the ability to skate himself out of trouble. He has the ability to bring the puck up ice. The other thing about Emerson is he's not the biggest guy now, but he looks like he'll be a big kid. So if we can get a 6-foot-plus kid that can skate like he does, it's going to be a huge advantage to get the puck out of our end. And he also has the ability to create some offense.
All in all, the province with the most picks this year for the Wheat Kings, it was BC. Going back out there here for the first time, though, this year was Grady Hope in the fourth round, 78th overall. What about Grady Hope's game impressed you?
Grady is honestly a similar version to Easton Oden, but he plays defense. Grady brings it all the time. He's the type of kid that you give him a job and he does it. So if he wants on that shift, if he gets offensive opportunities, he'll take it and go. But if you want him to defend hard and play a physical game, he does that too. So when you watch Grady was one of the most improved players of the year. I liked him early, I loved him late, and his game just keeps going up. And he's the type of guy, any situation you can put him in, and he'll probably have some success.
In the fifth round, you go back again to the local team and you select Brady Turco, 97th overall.
Yeah, Brady is skilled. He's got quick feet. He thinks the game very well. Right now, he's not the biggest guy, but he'll grow. For me, you're always looking at projection, and when I see Brady, what he could be, it's super exciting for us. He just does a lot of the things that need to be done, and he plays the game the right way.
There's a couple of picks very close back-to-back there, as you had the 97th overall and then the 100th overall, so there's 3 picks later, going just down the road to Winnipeg, taking Quinn Parker.
Yeah, and I've coveted Quinn since the first time I saw him. He's a bigger body that plays the game hard. He's strong on pucks. He brings some physicality, but he's got a nose for the net. When I was there, I watched him one night beat a very good team. He had 4 goals, and he just wanted more, and I said, this is one kid that I definitely have an interest in.
2 rounds later, you go to Lethbridge, Alberta, and take Dominik Griecki. Dominik, I know some of the highlight packs that we saw. This kid looks explosive.
One of the most elite skaters in the draft. He lives 2 hours from my house, in Lethbridge, Alberta, which it's kind of my home arena for the Western League. So I would go in there quite a bit and catch him play. And this guy can fly. He's got a nose for the net. When he enters his zone with speed, he doesn't take her to the outside. He takes her to the net. And the other part is that I love is that he has some tenacity and competitiveness that when he's tracking a defenseman, they know it.
You made sure to split up the positions you took between forwards, defense, and the one goaltender you took. It was Ryder Green out of Prince George, BC in the 8th round. What about Ryder Green's goaltending game stood out?
You know what? I had no idea who Ryder was until we went to the BC Cup. My scouts had identified him as a good goaltender, but we saw him in Salmon Arm. I thought he was outstanding. Here's a guy that battled for every save, kept every rebound under control. And, he lives in Prince George, so sometimes where I'm at, it's a little far from Brandon, it's a little far. So we have to do our due diligence, and everybody I reached out to said, this kid's got it figured out. He's a heck of a goaltender. And for me, after watching Salmon Arm, he deserved to be a draft, and we're excited to have him.
He was the first of 3 8th-round picks for the team. At 166th overall, you took Tao Flory out of Saskatoon. What about Tao's game stood out?
He's just consistent. He's a good skater. He's mobile. He plays with his head up. He makes a great first pass. Near the end of the year, he started to jump up a little bit more, create more offense. He's a guy that catches your eye right away because he's fluid. He makes good decisions. He doesn't make a lot of glaring errors. Like for me, he's the guy gets the puck, looks up, makes a play and gone. And that's what you want in a defenseman. If the puck's not in your end zone, they can't score. So he does a great job of transitioning pucks up. Good skater, and like I said, his offensive side started to show a little bit at the end of the year.
8th round, 3rd pick, you guys took Liam Lowry out of Meadows, BC, the 3rd or 4th BC picks. What about Liam's game stood out for you guys?
Another guy that just took steps all year. He is a big body. He's all of 6'2", 6'3", 195 pounds, but he's really good on his feet. He loves to kind of jump up and engage in the offense. When you see guys that big at that age, you kind of figure they're a bit of a project. This guy's quite polished for his size. He does a lot of good things. I watched him play all year. It was tough because sometimes his team played some really good teams and they were overwhelmed at sometimes. But when he was with better players and when he was playing with different players, I found that he elevated his game and I loved him.
The story with the U.S. priority draft was WHL and Wheat King bloodlines with the 2 picks, with Jake Stewart being Brad Stewart's son, played for the Pats and the Hitmen before a long NHL career, and then taking Carson Craig, who's the son of former Wheat King legend, one of the greatest captains of all time, Ryan Craig. Then now here in the 9th round, you take Brendan Van Owen, who is the son of former Wheat King Darren Van Owen. Tell us about his game.
It's the funniest thing is I never put two and two together. I saw this kid that showed up every time, even when his team was, a few goals back. He was the kid that kept pushing, and he has a real nice touch around the net. And to be honest, it was my scout out there that said, "You realize that's his dad played for us," and then I put the 2 names together. So that's crazy, sometimes you don't really think about those things. So the bonus is we like the kid first, and then all of a sudden we're like, wow, his dad was a really good Wheat King too and a popular player. So what a great fit for us.
So overall now for the scouting staff, you guys get to breathe a little bit and then get ready for spring camp, though, just around the corner.
Now we finally have the ability to bring these young players in, see their faces, see their smiles, get to know them. And I always say it's a dual process. We're evaluating your son while you're evaluating us, and that's how you really build good organizations. Is you present well, so that when they send their kids here, they trust that they're sending them to a place where they're going to be looked after, and we build good humans as well as good hockey players.